Welcome back to our second part of our class introduction. And the first question we need to address is why even do this class? Why have an athletic training pedagogical studies class or an athletic training education class in this graduate program? Why do this? It's not a educational competency required by the NETA. So why even do this class? I think for several reasons. For me, is because I knew it was an area that I wanted to learn more about when I was a graduate student, specifically how to teach in athletic training. But as I've been a college professor now for since 1998, so it's been a while, I just remember the very first time I taught. I taught as part of my graduate assistantship. I had to teach a 10-week care and prevention of athletic injury class. I had no training, didn't know how to teach at all, didn't know how to develop a course, didn't know how to develop a syllabi. I didn't know what the heck a learning objective was. All I knew how to do is model a class after previous professors in the teaching style that I enjoyed. And that's all I did. And I probably continued doing that for quite a while in my teaching. The sad thing is the master's program that I was in was on curriculum and instruction, but I didn't take to heart what I was being taught in that master's degree. Then when I started my doctoral program, which we also did teaching, I took some teaching courses. That's when the light started going on, and I started reading the higher education literature on how we should teach. And so my teaching started to change, and it's continually been changing over the years. And more recently, I took a sabbatical, which is what that means is I took time away to learn how to teach some more. But I did some research in a specific area of study, and one of the classes I took was teaching and learning in higher education at Azusa Pacific University, and I modeled some of this class, and I'm using some of the class material from that class. So I'll try to give credit where credit is due in the presentations, and so you know where some of this information is coming from is from that particular class for this class. Again, why? Why do this material? Why study how to teach? We're not teachers, we're clinicians. To me, it was because I think that we all teach. We either teach in a formal way, which this class is going to address, which the formal teaching would be in a classroom setting, like you're in right now in our program, but it also can be in the clinical environment where you're teaching a athletic training student, or it can be a patient. You're doing some formal teaching. Or you're doing non-formal teaching, which is when maybe some of you've had this happen. I have it happen quite a bit. Is, you're in sports medicine. My back hurts. Can you help me understand why my back hurts? My knee hurts, blah, blah, blah. That's informal teaching. You still are teaching. So we do a lot of teaching as athletic trainers. And there is the correct way and incorrect way. I don't know if that's the right term, but I'm just going to use that for teaching. So that's why I think this class is important, and this is why I think that this class will be beneficial to you, even if you're not right now a formal teacher. You're more you're a clinician, and that you're teaching your patients, and you're teaching, maybe even teaching some future athletic trainers. So if you have your syllabus, you'll see that in the first page of the syllabus I have some information about the big question for our class, our big questions for our class. I have a lot more questions listed in the syllabus than I have here on this slide, but this is the primary question, and all other questions that I have listed in the syllabi are driven to answer this main question. So the main question for our class is, how do we design athletic training classes for optimal student engagement, motivation, and learning? That's what I hope that we can get to at the end of our 6 weeks together, is how do we do this? How do we design our classes So students will be engaged, not bored, not falling asleep. They don't care. We want students to be engaged. We'll call that deep learning or deeper learning in the presentation here in just a bit. How do we keep our students motivated to want to learn? We'll talk about what's called self-determination theory. And there's going to be some other theories, but I'm primarily using a thing called self-determination theory. And one of the reasons why you will see later we'll have some choice assignments is because I want to give you the choice and some of the assignments that you do. And then how do we design our classes so students will learn? I mean, that's why we teach, is hopefully students will learn. And not only will they learn for the test, we want learning so they'll remember this stuff down the road, and be able to recall and use and apply and analyze the material down the road.